We're in the end game now, folks. So I am at this point in my collecting where I can no longer make any major direction changes or big changes at all in the collection. If you guys have been following me for years, I have made more changes than just about anyone. I have, like, you look at 2 years ago, like a room tour, the man cave is drastically different. Shelving, statues. I've definitely had a lot of the similar lines over the years. I've added some lines, of course. But, when I first got into collecting, it started with Mortal Kombat, video games like Uncharted. I got a few video game statues, Dragon Ball Z, Zelda. This is where it began. Stuff like this. Now it's all that Goro's fault. And then it transitioned into more movies and then eventually Transformers and so forth. But, I've made so many changes, and I was thinking if I want more Dragon Ball Z busts, because it's definitely been weighing my mind. And as much as I want to get more Dragon Ball Z busts, without the lack of space, I can't change the direction. The only thing I can do is upgrade a few statues here and there. But some of the statues are the definite version. Like, we're not getting a better Broly. That's it. We're not getting a better Goku or Vegeta. You can't improve upon this Cell. Final, Kamehameha scene. Can't beat that. And for me, this is the ultimate, like, Majin setup. The ultimate Piccolo. I'm definitely in the end game, folks, where there's not too many more upgrades I can possibly do in my collection. It's very few changes I can honestly make. Like, when I've been looking a lot at my Dragon Ball Z. I know a lot of KD's future products, and he's the one I mainly collect from. The only ones, God, there's only a few I can really get. I know he's doing, some additional busts. I've seen photos. They look amazing. But I can't mess up this setup. I just can't. I've messed it up before and I regretted it. I can't mess it up. I thought, should I add Gohan bust? Well, if I get Gohan, then I'll need a Trunks bust when he eventually makes that. And do I stop at just the Saiyans, or do I get the three main villains? It's just like endless. So that's why I feel like I have to stop at Goku and Vegeta. And I do want the definite version for every single 1/4. And as of right now, like, those are the two best Android statues for me. I have, in my opinion, the two best cells. I'm not a huge fan of, like, Last Sleep. A lot of white hole products I'm not a huge fan of. Like, I don't care for their cell. I don't like the cell sculpt as much as Infinity. The base is just too much. They make their statues too big. Very few white hole products I do like. There are some that are definitely good, but for the most part, a lot of them are, I don't know, too much. Too much focus on other things, but yeah, for DBZ, there's only a few I can really, change out, like Frieza and getting Sume, maybe Prime 1. I could change out KD Goku. Goodness. It's kind of it. Mortal Kombat statues, the only thing I really want to add is a Shao Kahn on Throne 1/3. And, I'd sell Kodokan and Quan Chi when that eventually happens. Because it is going to happen. It's being, the person who made my Motaro is making Shao Kahn on Throne 1/3 scale. And when he does, I've confirmed size, price, everything fits the bill. I'm going to sell those 2MKX, lower the 2MKX busts down there. And then scoot these over. Basically give half this garage shelf for Shao Kahn on Throne. I still wish PCS just frickin' made theirs, but they have shown no indication they're continuing MK. Frankly, I hope they lose the license to Prime 1. Prime 1 will do it justice. God, I can only imagine a Prime 1 1/3 MK. It'd blow my frickin' mind. I'd probably have to sell every single PCS statue I own and go just all in P1. So maybe it's best they don't get it. Goodness. I still do love my PCS. Don't get me wrong. They're really good. And they're very price affordable. Like, picked her up for like $700. Prime 1 does a 1/3 of any MK. It's going to be better, but it's also going to be $2,000+. But yeah, right now in the collection, I'm definitely at that point. I just can't make any more major changes. I really can't. Like a lot of my setups are pretty much complete. I'm only going to add a few things here and there, which is actually a really good thing. Because like I said, I do want to, part of the journey is the end. Like Iron Man said. I just watched Endgame. But there's only so many more statues I'll be adding to the collection. My pre-order list is definitely dwindling. Although I did pre-order Ganondorf. I wanted to get it. I feel like I could definitely fit it with Link at that bottom shelf. And I had to get it. Whether or not we get Princess Zelda from Ocarina of Time remains to be seen. I might do the child one, just because I already have an adult version above. But we're definitely in the end game, folks. I can't do any more major changes. I would say the biggest, most important thing to me in terms of if I'm adding additional statues, it's going to be the Prime 1 Predator line. I feel like these are the best bang for your buck statues out there. Yeah, they're expensive, $3,500, but you look at how many swap outs you get, the size, the epicness. I think these are the best bang for your buck. I don't think anything beats it. When I look at all my silicone busts in that room, which are all amazing, don't get me wrong, but when I consider that they cost as much as this, like it's similar cost, I'm like, I would definitely much rather have this. And this takes about as much space as one of those like Infinity busts. It's, some of these Infinity take more space because they're wide. Like that Batman is wider. Superman's a little wider. But I think these, honestly, my mind's even been weighing if I want to get the City Hunter. I'm like, man, I really would love to just get every Prime 1 Predator. How cool would it be to have Jungle Hunter, City Hunter, Scar, and get every additional future one they do? Now, unfortunately, space is my biggest concern right now. And I really only have so much space, unless I sell some things. But I'm also at that point where, it's not like I'm going to up and sell some of these horror statues to add Prime 1 Predators. And this AVP wall I got is already like perfect in scale with the room, so I don't want to sell it. And they're more like action posed, which I really like. So I don't really want to sell those for the P1 Predators. Yeah, this is getting very tricksy. Middle room is about my only option. Or we convince the wife to allow me to put statues upstairs. Now, I have one spare bedroom upstairs. Technically there's two, but one's the wife's office. But our spare bedroom, I think if I was to offer her a substantial amount of money, I could get her to agree to allow me to put the Prime 1 Predators up there. It's about, it's not a huge room. Don't get me wrong. It's not huge. It's actually the first room I ever had statues in, so it's probably as big as this. But if I threw in 3 garage shelves, you could fit probably, let me think. This takes about 3/4 a garage shelf. So you could fit realistically, let's say it's these 3 garage shelves. You could fit 1, 2, 3, at a minimum 4. I could maybe squeeze in a 5th one if I added something else. But we do need that bedroom because my wife's aunt flies in from the Philippines, stays with us for several months every year. And so she stays in that room, and I have to ensure the statues would be far from, well and safety. But I'm thinking if I offered my wife $5,000, I bet I could get her to agree to allow statues up there, which would be a huge win. So I kind of feel like I should buy the Prime 1 Predators, as long as I have the extra cash, even if I have to keep them in boxes for the hope of eventually being able to display them. I don't know. That's definitely a tricksy one, but we're definitely in the end game, folks. There's not much more I can do with my statue collection because the fact remains I don't want to sell really anything at this point. But I mean, there's a few I'll upgrade, of course, but I'm at the point where it's like, I'm not going to be selling, like you look at this wall, I'm not selling any of this pretty much ever. Like at least as long as I'm a collector. You're not going to see me up and sell those ECC Freddy and Jasons ever. And honestly, it always baffles me when I see horror collectors selling them and they get in these garage kits that are like not even close as good. I'm like, wait, what? If you're a horror collector, this is the best. I mean, I still think this is the best Freddy and Jason bust, even over all the customs I've seen, which some are like silicone and maybe a better paint out, but the concept and overall look, I still like ECC the best. But yeah, we're definitely in the end game, so there's not much more I can really do. Prime 1 Predator, I would say, is probably the most important thing to me in terms of like additional, statues. I don't think I'd ever, like, let's say Prime 1 started doing the alien line in this scale. I don't think I would need it. I think I'm really content and happy with my alien set. I got my 4 1/3s, and then I'll have 2 busts, all those. I really just need the Queen Alien bust back. And in terms of life-size Predators, I really just need the 2, Wolf, and my Jungle Hunter custom I'm getting. Again, I'm selling that for $900 plus shipping if anyone's interested. You pick it up in Utah, $900. So 50% off retail. I still like the Fugitive bust quite a bit, but space, huge concern. The only other thing I could do is if I keep Fugitive there and do my Jungle Hunter bust here with Prime 1 Predator and then don't go down the Prime 1 Predator rabbit hole. It's definitely a rabbit hole. They don't scale with anything. That's why I feel like if I could put them all in one bedroom, that would work good. I mean, ideally, I could fit 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I could fit 5. So Jungle Hunter, P2, Scar, Berserker, Wolf. Really, everyone that's on pre-order plus Wolf, then you're pretty much set. So you don't need to have like a Fugitive Predator 1/3. You'd have the AVP 1 and 2, Predator 1 and 2, and the Predators movie. I think you'd be really set at those 5. If you're doing 5, if you're doing 3, you do Jungle, Wolf, Berserker. But if you're doing the 5, you add Scar and the P2. And I watched Predator 2 again, and I do think it's a good movie. It's a cool Predator design. I think the statue base is the weakest of all the bases. It's not as cool, not as much going on. But it's still an overall cool statue. Like, the giant spear is sick looking. I like the unmasked roaring head. I think that looks really cool. So, it's definitely been, like, I have a tab open on my phone looking at it. And I'm just like, man, I really should get that Jupiter. Anyways, folks. But, yeah, so that's just what I wanted to go over with you guys. So, let me know what you all think. How many of you are in your end game where you're just like, you can't add any more lines. You can only upgrade maybe a few statues here and there. But again, upgrading is a pain for a few reasons. One, trying to find a seller for your statue at a reasonable price, and not lose too much money, and then not get raped on the new statue or have it arrive damaged, and dealing with scammers. And it's such a pain right now to sell. And for me, finding the box, oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely a huge pain. So even upgrading, I used to be very open for upgrading. 3 years ago, when I could sell a statue in 10 minutes when I posted it for, $200 more than I paid, and it was easy, I didn't mind upgrading at all. I'm at the point now where it's just like, ugh, such a pain. Don't want to do it. Don't want to deal with it. So that's another huge sign of this is the end game for Flankster. Anyways, folks, hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.